Alrighty. Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hopefully I'm not gonna get called for more tech support. I just got called up by someone else in the house to help with tech, so if that happens again, then I'll have to step away for a moment. But otherwise, we're good to start here. So this is the file as it is, just sitting inside Live2D straight up. Or straight from the PSD. So I haven't set up anything yet. I'm gonna go through once again very slowly, go through all of the file, all the parts. Just make sure they all have a proper mesh rather than Live2D putting on a really wild mesh. You know, I didn't think about this before, but there actually might be an argument to make for me testing out the alpha build of Live2D, because it's apparently got some good stuff in there. Let me see how difficult it is to download and install the alpha build. It wasn't really on my mind. Well, beta build. 4.204. Is that the one everyone's using? Let me just check. I really didn't think about that side while setting up. No, Cubism 5. Is this Cube? Which version is this? I can't actually tell which version it is. You know what? Let's not worry about it today. Alright. Okay, so let me turn the fan on. It's like super hot. Turn that on. So this is just going to be the usual very slow, very boring setup stream of all of the parts. Go through the usual basic steps of auto meshing in a base to then alter the mesh as needed so that my wrist won't fall off. I think I'm actually working with less hair parts than I usually am, because I tried to do my best at ensuring that there was no redundant parts. Even though I say that, and there's actually like back parts to some pieces this time. Let me just turn this on. Okay. Alright, so as usual, all hair parts need a relatively thick mesh for the outside so that it can curve correctly or appropriately. I think I can be a little lazy on some of the body parts, namely the actual body back parts, because this time, because it's one of the things I should really get some practice in for, drew very large things that go in front of the body, and that should actually block out part of the actual back, like the spine shape down the back. Usually for a model that's turned like this, it would matter a little bit more to make sure that the spine at all angles looks correct, but we can get away with that because part is going to be blocked. Actually, well, how well will be blocked? Let me have a think about this. I'll be blocked somewhat on some angles. Because usually you're relying on the shoulder to block it. I don't know if I should really be giving this intense of a mesh for this piece that's just kind of floating. Like that. Oh yeah, so I need to also change a whole bunch of layers to add layers inside Live2D, because for some reason add in Live2D is separate from add in Photoshop. So that's I'm gonna slowly go through in order for bits I have to clip down correctly. Hum. I guess like usual for a setup. A session of setup. Probably won't be doing any actual motion today. Maybe get the parameter setup if I can get through everything quickly, depending on how complex I need some parts. That should be okay here. Let's just do that. Alright, what are we looking at here? Technically with these I can anchor it from here, and I in a way don't actually need to super mesh up these top parts. Actually, I don't know if that'll cause a problem in the perspective changing part. But definitely won't affect it during the curving part of the physics. Let's just make sure all of this is... actually, I was thinking of whether I should try and do inside a line instead for all of the points. There's that 2 points right there. Hold on, what the heck's happening here? Because if I do inside side of the line, then technically the thing affecting how thick the line is the point between the outside point instead of the other points on the inside, which is where the formation usually happens. Actually, I shouldn't affect it too much. I'll just go with this like usual. So there's gotta be like any major issues I notice with the art pieces right away. It's going to probably be in the eyes. Gonna did just straight up clip using the wand tool onto the iris base color during the layering process of all of the mini eye parts. Also, there's gonna be a lot of eye parts, and I might be a little shoddy with the meshing there, because honestly it's just a bunch of glowing bits that have to float. We'll see what happens when I get there. Okay, I really didn't expect to be this hot. I'm like still kind of sweating even though I turned the fan on. Oh man. Oh boy. Let me just... Oh boy. I think I'm making it inside a lot thicker than the outside side. Oh boy. Watching this thing get thicker is really like a little nerve-wracking at times. There's also another good part about this hairstyle, which is very straight. It's like a lot of straight edges. This should help with some of the deformations on some angles. Because no matter what happens, it's mostly a rectangle that's moving around. Another piece I did yesterday is kind of realized how much more I could actually try and do with the hair at times. Oh boy, the line got a little bit thinner there. Okay, do we need a corner piece? Let's just set this side up as well. Alright, let's just see how this connects. I mostly need the point between here and here, as long as that exists. This point is actually okay. Okay, what do we have here? I'll just go from top or bottom to top. So we have the point at the end here, points in the center here, and then points at the end kind of here. Alright, I was just looking to my lines right now. Oh boy. Maybe I should try and make it go a little more heavy on the auto mesh on the edge of the line here. Just so I don't have as much dotting to do. Maybe that might be a little tight. You know, it needs to technically be a little tighter on the inside as it curves into, was it crescent shape? I think I'm actually going a little hard on the mesh here. I don't think I usually go like this tight on a piece of hair. Usually I let it be a little bit more blocky. Oh boy. Hum. Blah, 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 bum. Oh boy. Oh, that's a thick mesh. Okay. That's one side. Oh, wait, these are like actually most of the way symmetrical, aren't they? Apart from the fin piece. I wonder if I can cheat this a little bit. Because that was the longer side, so I could technically just take the mesh, flip it over, and then remove the bit that sticks out the bottom. So if I go with like this, right, I should actually be able to just go, can I then say reflect horizontally? And then just say all of this crap I don't need anymore. And then I just need the corner piece, the center piece, another corner piece. Oh, great. Hold up. Let me just do that. Oh, right, because I changed the shapes a little bit. At least it's still quicker than doing this whole thing from scratch. I could just adjust these. And that's good enough. It made some efforts to not make it fully symmetrical. Oh, this point is totally floating. You know, we'll bring you over here. Definitely doesn't need to be this spec right at the bottom here, but... What the crap happened here? Why is that like this? What the crap is this line doing here? Okay, that makes more sense. And we still have this connection, so that should be fine. Alright, and the top. What happened to the top? Shift this back a bit. This actually looks mostly good to go. Okay, and that pretty much just does that whole part, and then we can actually do it for this as well. We would go like that, like that, like that, and then we go this, that, delete, paste, reflex, and then, oh wow, I did this one so much closer to the edge. Interesting. But either way, we can still say all of this crap, get rid of it. Then we just go something like that up, and then we just bring this into here, and then go like this, and voila, we have a whole thing already made. Okay, let's just bring this all back inwards. Can I use the brush tool here? I can't. Okay, sure. Be really convenient I could use the brush tool in that spot. So I do need to be a little careful because the color part isn't exact symmetrical replicas, so that means that the formers shouldn't be either. Given that this is just a color part, and it shouldn't matter too much even this isn't super accurate. Generally avoid the super detailed hair coloring that some people do, because I know that I'm going to mess it up somehow by make the hair or like the strand colors like super detailed. I'll mess it up somehow. But you're supposed to just color them more separately, as though it's the only types of hair that exists. That's then you'll learn how to do that. Okay, and then we'll just bring this side in a bit. And this is a surefire way to explain why having symmetrical pieces significantly lowers the workflow, or the workload. Okay, this is getting really tight. Let me just actually get rid of one of these points. Okay. Then we just need to do this one manually. Yikes! That's not a good mesh. Hum. Oh, it's definitely something you have to practice. I've been doing this for a while now, so it's not as bad. If this looks really complex, it's technically, fairy-wise, is not, particularly complex as to why I'm doing it like this. So, for any parts that need a curve or have the perspective change where the shape will morph quite a bit, you just want like a thicker mesh on the outline like this to basically let the thing curve. Easiest way to explain it is because the computer can only see triangles and lines and points, so you just have to make sure that when these lines between each vector point curves, that there's enough curves in there that the actual curve still looks very fine. Or if you're old like me, that's basically why old school PlayStation and Nintendo 64 were so blocky, because they couldn't do super fine number of points like this. I mean, you think this part is a bit that looks difficult? It really shouldn't be, because the main meat of rigging comes in the actual deformations of the pieces. The setup is just something you have to do. It's more difficult physically than it is mentally to grasp, because I can already feel my wrist slightly hurting. I've only like just started today. Like, there's a slight pain in my wrist, and I'm already not using the mouse. I'm using my tablet for this, which generally does help. Oh, it's just your general, like, standard, RSI, repetitive strain injury. I mean, every time I do a model setup, I'll go through that pain, so, doing like some little stretches beforehand, or like knowing when to take a break and not just pushing it, is kind of important for this stage. That's why it really helps that I'm not only rigging, because I was like, I have like some people I know that literally do rigging streams like every day. I mean, I think they have like one day off, but like every single stream they do is just like Live2D rigging. I'm just like, dude, your wrists must be like absolutely gone. It's like, there's no way your wrist is still intact. I mean, maybe it helps for like some of the fellas who are younger, but I'm no longer part of that young group. If injuries happens, it's probably gonna stick a bit. Probably don't need as fine of a curve for the thick piece here. And these thick pieces are supposed to be heavy, so they shouldn't be as aggressive of a swing either. So we're gonna be a little bit more generous with the spacing of the mesh. Especially since this is a front piece, typically... Or at least for this, because the hair's supposed to be like thick and heavy. Whoop. If it doesn't swing aggressively, that's actually perfectly fine. That will actually probably more natural than very thick hair swinging very aggressively left and right. As much as people love their super flowy stuff, that should still make sense. Otherwise, people who aren't like super into the whole culture will just be turned away. It's the same reason why even you make an impossible, was it the Impossible Burger has to be a red thing, or like a red brown, well, once it's cooked it has to be like a brown thing, so people still believe it's like meats and they can pellet it. Hum. because visuals actually matter a lot to our understanding of what we're looking at. I'm actually deciding if I need to change the draw order of all my parts before I actually start as well. Is there anything that's going to be a problem in the draw order? Probably won't notice until I start clipping things down, actually. Oh, that's fine. Alright, this piece is probably the one that could be the most generous with the spacing, because honestly, it's one the edge that ends up going behind the side here, because I have the side here going in front of the front fringe part. So that's usually how I like to do it. Depends a bit on the hairstyle, but typically that's how I prefer to do it. Not always applicable to everyone's art style. Could vary a bit for myself even on the day if I decide to make a more, was it? How do you describe it? Stick-out-ish, protruding hairstyle, especially for the front hair, but like flicks outwards, then usually they'll have to go in front of the side here. I mean, the Effector 3D is all about protrusions and how you show them off. Protrusions and indentations. So that's where a lot of the 3D effect actually comes from. And a lot of that's affected by shadow. Okay, I'll go with that. Oh yeah, and once again, if you came in here expecting any kind of actual motion rigging, for today, probably not going to happen. This usually will take the full session I have time for, because it's a lot of art missions that I have to go through and basically do this for. Actually, it becomes significantly less as I go down the body, because typically the head is where 90% of Vtuber model motion is, and where you have to have the most complex meshes in order to facilitate that. But it will likely still take probably the whole session just to get through all the meshes, get through maybe all the deformers, and if I'm making good on time, all the parameter setups as well. There's a couple of extra motions I want to try with this model, which is why I drew it. Maybe as I can get more attention, I can actually just outsource ideas for models if I actually need to just design a new character instead of just redrawing my own one and then adding stuff to it every time I want to try something new. It's like the cyberpunk-ish themed one I did a while back was technically outsourced in terms of actual theming. I basically just got told, hey, cyberpunk would be cool, and then I just looked up a bunch of pictures and slapped everything I could find that was cyberpunk onto it that seemed kind of persistent throughout the reference images. You know, I'm inventing a genre, that's pretty much how character design works. You just look at existing things and just be like, okay, I like that, so I'll take that. I like that as well, so I'll take that. It's like, that seems to be pretty common. I pick people like that, and I'll take that. Basically, the end result of Cyberpunk was a lot of belts, either white or black, and a fanny pack. Is fanny pack like a universal thing? I feel like not everyone actually understood when I said fanny pack, when I explained it to someone. It's like those times when you suddenly realize when you're talking to a foreigner that you're using local slang. It's like, oh wow, that was slang. I've been using it my whole life and I just thought it was the word. Hum 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 hum. I'm going off on a really weird tangent as I'm doing this. Don't mind it too much. It's just basically to keep myself sane as I repeat the same action over and over again while doing this part. which is basically how I always work, but especially true for the meshing portion. The more I can go off on a random tangent, probably the better my sanity will be by the end of it. Oh, I was not very careful with the line there. That shouldn't affect it. This part is the back piece, not the front one, so even though there's a weird curve partway down that mesh, it shouldn't really matter. Well, not the mesh, but the texture. Okay, let's just make sure not having any weird connections with the outside part there. Okay, do that, and then we'll go for this part. Oh, this part can be super casual because this one doesn't need a curve. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that, that's fine. And also this part doesn't need a curve, but actually no, this has a curve a little bit. Had to be a little careful at least for the outside part of this line, and the rest of it can honestly be whatever. Because it's just to cover some bottom or back parts or gaps. Unless you actually use a symmetrical thing for this. Now if I'm using existing points, using a symmetrical meshing tool is actually not great because it's not very good at or I can't find a similar vector point on the other side and drag that alongside it. It only lets you place points. Okay, we'll go with that for the head. The rest of it doesn't really matter because it's just back cover pieces. Alright, where are we here? Okay, alright, so these are all technically what you call it, artificial parts that aren't gonna flow. They just have to kind of stick to the head, so it would be just like focusing on maintaining the shape for this part. Actually wondering if I should have made this some extra, well, added some extra colors to this just to make it stand out a bit more than just a black thing on black thing. This is a glow layer, so let's just do that, and then we also need to go to here and turn you into a glow layer. Do I want you to stick to stuff? You don't need to stick to stuff. This is the bar behind it. Oh, that's a tiny thing. Alright, just make sure it maintains this general shape as it goes around. Honestly, as long as this thing can compress on itself, it's probably fine, because only... What kind of motion does this thing need to do? It needs to turn this way, where this part will become longer, and then need to turn this way, where this part needs to become shorter, and it has to compress on itself. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, was this the front face? There's a lot of parts that are just like kind of in here. Oh, I need to be a little careful with this piece as well because of the way it has to hide behind some parts. So let's actually give this a good mesh on this side just to make sure I can compress it inwards if I have to. There's like two pieces on the headphones which are basically supposed to slide into each other. The way I've done it, along with the side plate currently being completely flat right now, and I actually need to morph it into place for the default. Because I found that usually compressing things is generally better quality-wise than stretching things. Funny that. This is the glows, so let's just stick a pretty basic thing over here, turn this into a glow layer. And then we got the thing below it. This just has to be like a square, or like a solid shape. This can literally move like cardboard, it wouldn't matter. Let's just get rid of the really scary looking part of mesh in the middle there, because that is gonna terrify me. Alright, let's get rid of some of these points, because there's no way that you need this many points in here. And then just reset up the mesh around this. By nature of what this actually is, it's basically like a logo on the side of the headphones, which is at best a slightly protruding spherical plane, and at worst it's completely flat. So technically, even if this thing's mesh is kind of very casually done, the former that has to actually morph it can basically just move like a giant old piece of cardboard, and it wouldn't matter. In fact, I'm thinking about whether meshing it with this much detail is actually a bad thing as I do this. Because it might result in, if I pull the deformer weirdly at any point, that it just kind of stretches in a weird way in some parts. Hopefully it's gonna be fine. Let's go like that. Anything weird sticking out right? No, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so this is the side face. This is probably the piece that could be the most casual, because it only needs to fit itself into a slot and doesn't actually need to maintain a good shape. Did I actually shade this thing properly? I think I did. I don't know if the shading is going to be a problem once it actually has to compress on itself and morph into place as a default. Do I need that centerpiece? The centerpiece makes it so that every point will, in general, go to the middle, but apparently not. Those points are going to become a problem. Let's just manually remove these lines and have everything point into the middle. Like so. And then this is the backside of the cushion piece. Probably never going to be actually visible 90% of the time, only the like top half. Actually no, will this... yeah, this part shouldn't be very visible in general. It's mostly the top side and bottom side of this will be visible, the rest will not be. Oh, like that. That should be fine for this piece. Then we've got the left side. So what we can do, because this is symmetrical, because there's no way in how it's going to do a part that's like 90% of the time blocked as a complex thing. So we can just go like that, go like that, go like that. In, out, paste, reflex, and in it goes. There we go. Or copy. Okay, and this, delete, paste, and then horizontal. Copy that, this, flip. I did flip everything, right? Yeah, everything's been flipped. Okay, or copy out in. Oh, very much does feel like that, doesn't it? At the point where it's just a lot of dots. So I mean, the fact that I also very much simplify all the steps in my to myself in very short verbal statements probably doesn't really help that either. So in or copy out. This is what, this piece? Wait, what piece was that? Was it this piece? I should do that again. Copy out this in, out, delete, paste, flip, and then out, and then this, or copy out, in, or delete, paste, flip, out. Okay, or copy out, in, or delete, paste, reflex, out. Copy out, in, or delete, paste, reflex, and out. Okay, that is all of that symmetrical piece. I guess that is like one really random thing I could recommend. It doesn't look very nice, but if you're making a model for the first time, using a lot of symmetrical parts on your left and right speeds things up very significantly. If like that's a general worry of having to manage a lot of parts, because it means you can reuse a lot of meshes. I've actually only just started reusing a lot of meshes. I usually just meshed everything completely manually, which was a giant mistake because that hurt my wrist a lot. It's definitely a factor that you can take into account. Things like, notably, parts of your human body that are really symmetrical, especially if you're taking a standard pose. Unlike me, who likes asymmetrical poses and regrets it every time because it basically doubles the workload. Like, the most notable ones is like usually the ears and the eyes. Oh wait, I forgot to flip the eye parts. Alright, give me a moment before I get down to the eye parts. I do need to flip it. Alright, let me just go up to here. I don't think I need to redraw any of the parts, but I do need to flip some. Do I need to flip them? They're not going to be visible like 90% of the time. Oh, either way, we're going to grab all the lights, basically, on this side. 1, 2, 3, refraction. Yes, refraction to the lights, and also the pour. All of this needs to flip. Okay, sure. Because that's how light works. It doesn't cause all the lights to appear in the same spot of the eye on both sides. Let's just go maybe a little bit like this on this side. Ignore the blue glow. The blue glow is there because of stupidity and Clip Studio's ability to layer down and clip. That's fine. The last shadow is fine. Refraction, I'm going to move this way a little bit to cover where the light would be coming in if light ever hit the spot. We're gonna move this a little bit this way. And for this, we're gonna move this. Actually, this is fine. And then the pour. The pour's actually fine, I think, in the spot. Alright, just save that. Yes, sure, whatever. Is that saving? Actually, is it saving? Oh, there we go. Then we need to grab it and throw it back in. Where is it? You. And that should replace all the parts without making any new art meshes, ideally. Oh shit. Well, did it actually replace all those parts? Well, the good thing is that I haven't actually gotten down to it yet, so I can just shift this inside where it needs to go and it'll be fine. Okay, let's just close that. base parts. What's this? This is left eyeball. So basically all the left eyeball parts. All the light parts. 1, 2, get rid of that. Refraction down to poor base, get rid of that. And then we're just going to shift this into there. Let me just also grab you and just go like that, and everything should just fall into there. No? Isn't that how you're supposed to do it? Or do I need to go like this? There we go. Okay, and then we just got that again. I put it all above the iris, great. So highlights go above the iris, the rest of this goes below the iris. I'll put this above the shadow, I think is where it's supposed to sit. The paw is supposed to sit below this, not like a rear. Why is it moving so much? This is all the same layer, right? It's almost an eyeball. Yeah, it's almost an eyeball. What's it doing? Okay, I don't know why it's doing that, but sure. How relevant is this part? Where's my shadow in the thing? Glow is above shadow. Okay, sure. All the lights are above the shadow, so shadow depth has to go down. Why is it moving so much? It's not supposed to move that much. Okay. Oh, I haven't saved, have I? Let's go into rigs and save that into here. Hum 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 hum. Oh boy, that took a while. Okay, it's finished, sure. Alright, where was I up to? I was like doing the earphone pieces. Alright, left brow, left lash. Let me just collapse the eyeball part for a bit. I want to work on these first. Alright, so this needs a thick mesh. Let's see if we can actually just go ahead and by default make it a bit thicker so I don't have to make as many points. Alright, well, I don't need you. All these inside points don't need them, and then the rest of them I just need to adjust. Hum 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 hum. That's too thick right there. Let's just grab one of these and put them up here. That's fine. And then we just go like that. The eye part should be symmetrical in terms of shape. The bits that are important for the eye symmetry is the brow, the lash, the eye whites, and maybe the actual eyeball shape if it's not fully circular. And then the pupil and whatever defines the pupil's actual shape. I think most of mine should be okay. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure these got a gap in between them. Then just draw this, go under the line for this, like so. Is that gonna cause a problem? I'll put these over the line. Like so. And then since we have done this part, let's once again go 1, 2, 3, out, in or delete, paste, reflect, and then out, in or copy, out, in to this one, get that out of here, paste this in, reflect across. Then once again for this, copy, and or delete, paste, and reflex over. Okay. Deal with the eyeball parts later. Eyeball parts can actually be a little bit more casual, so I'm not gonna... I don't know how many of my lights on my... I delete all of my lights on my right side. Oh, well, that was a mistake. Whoops. Hold up. I really put them in the wrong eye. Ah, jeez. This is the replaced piece. What I need is... this is right eye, eyeball. Oh yeah, I've definitely put them in the wrong eye. Oh great. No, wait, left eyeball. Oh yeah, they're definitely in the wrong eye. Oh great. That's a problem. Let's just go ahead and... I believe I can... Do I just like redo this? Does that do? What does that do? Can I just like replace these straight back into the right eyeball? Let me just see if I can do that. Alright, let's just move these out of here first. So, all the way down to here, grab these and shift them. Oh wait, I need to get these out of here. Alright, let's just not make that mistake again. Let's just get those out of there, move this up. This is above the iris. Grab refraction, down to pool base, get that out of there. And then grab... where's my refraction? Okay, the refraction's gone, but honestly it doesn't matter, it's never going to be seen. Put that above depth. Alright, let me see if I can like replace these correctly. Can I grab these and just like stick them back in? No? Okay, there we go. So all of these parts I just need to recreate the art meshes, which is fine. Oh, there's only do one at a time. Are you serious? Oh boy! Gotta click them all one at a time. Well, I made a mistake, so that's fine, honestly. Just replace all of these. That should be everything, right? Now, did I all go into the right? What? Why not all go to my left? Oh, for frick's sake. It just went exactly where I was sitting. That's annoying. Alright, so above iris, and then grab from refraction all the way down to pool base and put that above shadow. Okay. No, above shadow. Okay. Man, it looks wild when they don't add layers. Alright, so let's actually have a look back here. Let's turn the hair off for a moment so I can actually have a look at this. Let's see what kind of mistakes I've created on this. Well, that's new. What the fuck happened here? Oh, it's the mesh. Oh, it's just the mesh. That's fine. That's the original square mesh for the default. Wasn't in that shape. Right, let me just make sure all of these are still in here. Eyeball, left, I have a refraction, but I don't have the actual refraction part underneath that, so let us go and create that. Was this the right eye? I said left, right? Oh, I didn't say left. God dang it. Left. Refraction. Select. Create. Is it back there? I actually can't tell. Underneath the refraction glow. Okay, it's there. Why is the mesh having problems? The mesh should not be having problems if this thing's a square like this. Alright, we'll figure that out. Alright, so generally shadows have a pretty big limit to how well you can make Live2D find it correctly, but I think we're just gonna go ahead and go with a standard edge mesh. Notably, the top side never matters because I'll never be seen. So in theory, that should work. All of these can have a pretty casual mesh. These ones don't matter very much as long as they encompass the whole thing correctly. Because the shapes can't really morph all that much to begin with. Do I actually want the iris line, or do I want to go about the iris line? Might actually go about the iris line. I think I like that a bit better than having the very thick black outline there. Alright, what happened to you? Let's just see what happens if I do this. And it's back! Okay, the glow really doesn't matter too much. And what happened to this thing? Are you fine as well? You're also fine, great. Glorious. Glow needs to be an actual glow layer. Same with like pretty much all these glow layers are supposed to be on top of the respective parts. And all of these need to be add layers. Yeah, all of these need to be above their respective parts. And you're also add layer, like that. Wait, there should be another one here. Here, this is also add layer. Where did this go? This should be above here. Above refraction or below refraction? Let's put this above refraction. Oh, that's, yep, nope. But above depth. Like so. Maybe turn this one down a bit, actually. It's a little aggressive. It should actually be above shadow. Let's put this above the shadow. If I turn this down a lot, that might actually look better. Yeah, I think I actually like that a bit more. We'll go with that. Making changes on the fly. Okay, so I think the majority of these parts can actually just have a pretty casual mesh, and it doesn't honestly matter all that much as long as the mesh exists. The ones that do matter is... Oh, let's just make sure none of these have a really crazy mesh as well, because that's usually a problem. You probably don't need this point. And you probably don't need this point, honestly, and maybe not this point. Pupil is one of the ones that do better. So let us go ahead and do a edge mesh like so. Do we do a center point? Let's do a center point for this. So all of them should come down to just one point, like so. Pupil depth. Now this is, well, I'm a little nervous about this in this point. So we'll just stick a single point here, and honestly, what the heck is this point doing? Doesn't need to be the most exact thing in the world, it's just a shadow at the back. This! Get rid of this, and get rid of this, and get rid of this. That's fine. That's fine. And then iris base is another piece that actually needs to have a proper mesh. Should just be the base color sitting here and nothing else. Will I need a center point for this one? Actually I shouldn't, because this is just a flat color. Not like the pupil, which actually needs to somehow maintain the line shape. And maybe morph a little bit. This one just needs an outline in general. That should honestly be fine as long as all the points are behaving the way they're supposed to. Alright, eye white. Another piece that's actually important because this is the thing in charge of the eye open shape. And it's also the most defining factor usually when it comes to the actual shape of the eye as it turns. You know, that's 100% outline because this is just a white slab. Honestly, you don't need the points in the middle. The points in the middle might actually be problematic. I think I'll actually take them out this time rather than just leaving them in. Skipping the step and leaving them in. Because they don't really affect all that much. Alright, so that sits like so, then we're just gonna go ahead and lasso all of this out of there. We only need to worry about the outline, so anything in the middle doesn't matter. Alright, and then we're not gonna use the iris line. Everything here can just use a bit of a very casual mesh. Just make sure everything has a mesh and that is not too crazy. So get rid of that, get rid of that. One, two, you go here. Sure, iris not using it. Glow needs to go on top of its respective part. And all of these glow layers have to become add layers, including you, and you. All they need to be add layers, so it really glows. Refraction, glow on top of the refraction, please. And then I'm going to put the shine way up top and also lower it by quite a bit. I actually do like that a lot more. It's like a little nice touch there. In terms of that's actually fine. It's just a bit of light coming up there. Alright, so pupil. We're gonna grab the pupil from this side. Can I just stay horizontal right from here? Oh wait, I can't. Then depth. That should be fine. Is anything that looks a little funny? That out of here, get this out of here, get this out of here, get that out of there. Why is this point doesn't need to be here? What's that doing up there? That should be... You don't need those points, fine. And in the iris shape we're gonna take from the other one. Like so. And then we're also going to grab the eye white from the other one. Okay. Alright. Added like a tiny little bit here that I can't even see. It's supposed to be a multiply layer, but it's not a multiply layer right now. I don't know why. What? Okay, it's not even wrapping the shape correctly, so let's actually make it wrap the shape correctly. Good old dot nose! Okay, then we go for the blush. Could be a bit more gel. Oh, yikes. Get that out of there. Gonna move you across. Pop you out. Pop you out. That should be fine. Maybe we will stick one back in here. These parts don't really matter that much because it's just a shade of color that has to move. But we're still gonna get rid of any like really weird points because those usually cause weird things with the deformers. Hit shade. Doesn't need to be as exact as the hit itself. So we'll just go with that. Alright, and now for the mouth. Alright, let me just get my wrist to stretch because this is gonna hurt me. Alright, let's go through exactly how this has to work. Do I put a middle line this time as well? Alright, we're gonna mirror edit. We're gonna grab everything, we're gonna delete it, then we're gonna start just adding in points here. I know I can draw this in, but honestly the draw tool never works correctly for me the way I need it to, so I'm just more comfortable with doing it manually. I'm sure it's probably just some settings, but the fact that it doesn't work for me just makes that I really don't want to like mess with it. Alright, do I put a point down the middle as well now? Because that's also a thing I can do to try and protect the line a bit more. This is like the triple layer. Should I actually do triangles instead? Let's go triangles instead of squares, because let's be real, computers handle triangles better than squares. Because squares are basically two triangles put together and it might do something weird with it. I do not know that's going to affect anything. Okay, and then we're going to take this, actually, copy, and then we're going to go into here. We're going to actually just paste this thing straight in. Then, let me just click off, and then just go 1, 2. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, like so. Like that. And then we're going to grab both of these, and then we're going to say that all of these pieces in the middle, which are the same ones, we're going to bind them with glue. Okay. And I think my upper and lower lip are actually the same, so we can just go into here, go like this, delete that, pop this in, and that is our lower lip. And then we'll go to the lower cover, do the same thing where we just pop this straight in. Then we're gonna say you up to here, you up. Let's just kind of drag this out to here and here, try and make this like somewhat symmetrical. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 like so. Actually, let's have these ones completely horizontal points, just to make sure they behave correctly. Like so. Then we grab 1 and 2, go into here, lasso all of that, and glue together. Okay. Huh. Don't know about that. Well, I've got the symmetrical tool working, and this is actually a centerpiece, so I can use the symmetry thing to go. The important part is the bottom side, largely. The top side actually doesn't matter too much because it's always going to be under the cover of the skin, so we just kind of just slap that in there. The tongue. How much does the tongue need to be symmetrical? Not particularly, actually. I think once again, the important part is that the top side is mostly symmetrical. The bottom side can be a bit more casual. Just pop you out and then populate the top side with... please, why put on the other side too? That scares me a little. Oh wait, is it because of these lines? Are you serious? Okay, we're gonna pop all these lines out of there because apparently causing issues. And then we're gonna use this tool to symmetrically insert the top layer of the tongue. I didn't know that was actually a thing it did, that if you try to plot the vector straight onto a line connection that already exists, that it just won't do it. Maybe I should do this one with the tool as well. So these are conveniently right down the middle. So we'll go ahead and go... actually, it doesn't really matter because the skin's always going to be covering this. This just has to be like a cover piece on the actual skin part of the body. So that part doesn't really matter. Alright, now the headline. Okay, so, we're gonna grab the whole thing, we're gonna delete it. Then, we're gonna need a very thick mesh, particularly near the eye line and the cheek line, to make sure we can create the shape it needs to go. Basically, all of this has to be a very thick mesh, and this is where most of my wrist pains come from. It's probably actually the head. The actual head line, the head shape line. So go ahead and just do a really thick mesh all the way up the cheek. The actual skull brain portion of the head can be much less so because it's hidden by here, and if required it will be dented inwards just to make sure nothing's sticking. I need to fix that. Alright, we'll just go through and just put the mesh in first. The good thing is that I know where the problem is, so I can actually fix it straight away just by going into, back in the Clip Studio. Actually, don't know how relevant that part will be because of how aggressively I have the side here just covering the face. Hello, how are you doing? We're currently in the very exciting process of putting down a lot of dots. Not even down from the head yet, so be here for a while. I'm actually, even if I go over the general session time for today's stream, I'm just gonna actually keep going till I finish at least, at minimum, the vectors. If I don't finish the formers, I'm not gonna be too bothered about it, but I would like to at least finish all the vectors and not put it off, because I know that I hate doing the vectors, and Realistically, I should do it all in one session so that I have time for my wrist to recover. Oh yeah, and I could be a bit more casual with the line up here because this is the part that does not matter. It's always covered by hair. So we'll just be a little bit more casual with this part and just like go way out like this. Honestly, I could have done that a little bit earlier. But, okay, so we'll go back round from here now. Hum, hum, hum. Just make sure. And then, actually, does this part need to be particularly thick? Well, let me just do it on this side. My wrist works better going down this side. Wait, is my head not centered? Why is my points better out on this side than that side? Yeah, my points are more in on this side as well. I don't know if that's going to affect anything. It is going to affect something. What the? But it's like accurate down here, but it's not accurate up top. I mean, up top around here is actually where it matters the least. So honestly, I could probably run with this as long as this part is accurate. Yeah, as long as this part's accurate, it's actually fine. We'll just roll with it. Wait, let me put a point in. Oh, what the? No. Put the point in away from that point. Okay, I need to zoom in more just so that I have more space for my cursor to act. Because the bit that matters is down by the eye line, which is not till about like a bit lower, like when the circle of the head actually starts moving back in is about where the eye line is. This is where we need to actually have a thick mesh to handle the deformations of the, notably the brow line that sticks out a bit, the eye line that sinks in a bit, and then the cheek line below that, which has to stick out a bit again, into the inward part of the cheek on the angle where it has to sink in again, which is why we need a super thick mesh along this part. We're not going to do the center line or center vector like I did with the mouth because I don't really believe it needs it. I am going to have to fix that. I wonder if that's what's causing the symmetry to break a little bit. Because I'm pretty sure I drew the head of a symmetry ruler, so it really shouldn't be having problems like that. Well, I know that I drew up a symmetry ruler. It's only like a pixel or two off, which is probably the more worrying part. Probably should actually go triangles rather than squares here, but it'll be fine. Alright, so we're gonna connect... Why is it not connected? Wait, connect. What is not connected? Oh boy. What is not connected? Is it up here? It is connected. What's not connected? Ooh, what the fuck? Is there 2 points in here somewhere? No, I just click once and those 2 points both disappear. I don't... Jeez. I mean, it's a bit casual up here, but honestly it doesn't matter. This is the part of here that worst has to just sink in. Oh, okay, here we go. What? It's on the other side. Oh, there's another point here. Okay, there we go. So basically, anything that's like the brain part of the head, like above here, doesn't really matter. Everything below that matters. But we're gonna take this mesh, and we're also gonna use it for the head color. which is down here. And then we're actually going to get these two parts and go and glue it together. Just to make sure it sticks together. Alright, all of these layers, are they multiply layers? They are not. Okay, well, all of you need to be multiply layers. Thank you very much. Oh, I didn't check the eyepiece of the multiply layers. They look dark enough, so they should be. I'm just looking at them. But these are shadows, so once again, the mesh overall doesn't really matter as long as the general shape is captured and nothing gets destroyed. I mean, the mesh is doing some funny things, but it shouldn't matter, like, excessively much. Pop that point out, pop that points out, pop this points out, and pop these 2 points out, and pop that point out. What's happening here? Pop that one out, pop this one out, pop that out, pop that one out. 1, 2, 3, don't need this one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, probably don't need those, and don't need this one. Okay. Alright, what are we looking at? Don't need that points. Actually, might have needed that point. But I definitely don't need these ones. Oh boy! Oh, what the heck's happening here? Don't need that, don't need this, don't need that. Honestly, one single line should be able to work for this one. This is a straight shadow for the most part. There we go. That's been done. Okay, now for the backside here. Let's just turn that back on. Okay. Mirror editing shall not be in process anymore. Let's have a look at this. Yes. Okay, this is essentially supposed to act like the very side edge piece as the head turns. So, should I actually do the shorter side first and then extend it to make up the other side? That'd be smarter. That might actually be smarter. You know, deleting is easier than placing. We'll just go with this. Alright, don't think this thing has to swing too aggressively, but we're still gonna give it a generous mesh. It could be a little bit more casual near the top. Once again, this is the part that mostly just needs to be able to change perspective and transform. While the bottom part is the bit where it has to actually be able to curve. Hum. Okay, don't need to start actually thickening it up here. Probably do a little thicker. Hum. Alright, The more scary part is that I've actually like reflected a good number of meshes across the sides to speed up the workflow, and they've kind of fit. And then the hit actually had a problem, and that really worries me a little bit. Okay, I'll just do this now. Okay, all copy out, in, all delete, paste, reflect, and then we'll go ahead and go click somewhere else, and then just go ahead and lasso out the bottom side of this, delete that out of there, and then we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 like so, and any major problems? Not in particular. We'll just bring this in. Probably should have like actually drawn these completely symmetrically while I was like still coloring. Oh wow, this one ends off so much earlier. That's hilarious. Alright, well that works. And then we'll do the back piece here. This is actually a back piece. I don't know how visible this piece is going to be. This piece's main job is to be visible when the head is turned towards this direction. So like when the head turns, this should be peeking out from underneath the cheek. It's like this part's main job. So I don't know if this needs a particularly complex mesh. It's also like the first time I'm really putting a lot of emphasis onto these like pieces that very specifically the main job is to slide around the backside of the head. Visibility is going to be a little stunted for this, so I'm going to be a little cheap on the mesh just to speed things up a little bit. As long as it can visibly swing, it doesn't have to look very nice because it'll be behind things 90% of the time. And even as it's swinging, it'll probably be obscured by other parts. So, in theory, it should be good enough. And then once again, we'll take this, take that, block that out of there, take this, do that, delete, paste, reflect, and let's have a look at this. Let's go ahead and go pop that out of there. Pop that out of there, please. Okay. Then we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll piece into here. Put this down by here. Move this down. And how's the pieces up here looking? Okay. Okay, yeah. Alright, these back pieces can be really done casually. They're literally... This one I don't think can ever be seen, but it exists. I'm actually just going to leave that because I actually don't believe that's ever going to be visible. Like, genuinely. Let me just actually auto mesh all these and just see what the auto mesh does to them. I mean, you can really tell how much more casual I am with the back pieces. Like, colors not even like fully in there. The pieces that will literally never be seen. This is the bit where the color's missing is literally the backside of the head that's never going to turn enough for this to be visible. You'd actually have to turn all the way around, and at that point we'll need a different piece because this is a inside piece and not an outside piece. So either the head was able to turn the full 360, well not really 360 but 180. So you can see the backside of the head, it wouldn't be this piece anyway, we'll need a different piece. Or at least the shading would have to be different. Oh wow, I can see a line there that's really not supposed to be there. Yeah, the rest of this can just go. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Just shift these pieces all to the line. As long as they can kind of make things swing and float outwards, that is pretty much good enough. Well, this is part that's going to be a little dodgy. Gonna need a lot of victors here just to make sure that this doesn't collapse in on itself too badly. Like so. Then we'll grab the rest of this with the lasso and just pop them out. Anything weird? That's fine. Okay. Bum. Do I need a double piece here? Probably should only need a single vector here. Yeah, that should be good enough. Pop these out of there, and also you, get out of there. Okay, why are you trying to connect here? Please don't connect there. Okay, we'll use a double piece then. Straight across, okay. And up. Go like, whoa. Should be. Let's just see if this will behave with a single point. Is it gonna behave? It's gonna behave! That's wonderful. Literally saves like 3 extra clicks. Alright, and then we pop the rest of this out with the lasso. Anything causing a weird problem? Not really. Okay. Hum. Alright, where are we up to now? Okay, this is a piece that's gonna be 90% blocked from view. How much do I care about the mesh here? Just make sure it has like at least a basic shape maintained on all of its parts. That should be good enough. Alright, Alright, so time for some more symmetrical pieces. Let's just see what this does while I ultra mesh it. Okay, that's definitely gonna need a change. Alright, what is the problem currently happening here? Let's have a look at this. Alright, 100% it has to connect to the outline. Let me see if I can make it connect to the outline. Nope, it's not going to try and connect to the outline, is it? It's like, as long as it's like on the outline, it shouldn't be a problem because this is another hard piece, so it's not going to be curved in any angle. It's going to just be a thing that if the surface turns one way, the whole thing has to turn that way. So it doesn't matter if the parts aren't too exact. As long as we don't have plots like this where they're trying to shish out from in between. Let's make sure that all of these pots are protected. There's no weird links anywhere in the mesh, and we're good to go. As long as we have a straight line that goes down the two sides, this is actually all it needs to be capable of. Alright, so any weird connections? Do I have the line coming all the way down? I have it on one side, and I have it on the other side too. Good, okay. The glow can be kind of random. This can also be a little bit more casual than I'd usually do stuff like this. Just make sure this is all connected. Alright, now we're gonna pop out a whole bunch of these points, because holy shit, that's a lot of points. Or just shift them around at the very least. Kind of similar to the one on the side of the headset. This might actually do better with less points, because it has to be a thing moving on a flat surface. There's way too many points here. I'm just gonna get rid of a bunch of these. It's way too many points to even work with it. And just replace all the points I deleted. I'm actually looking at this again since the second time I'm doing this essential flat surface pattern. I'm considering whether to just give it a square mesh and just hope for the best on the former, because it technically is moving on a flat surface and does not need to be able to deform quite as much as anything else on the head. Oh, that line is a problem as well. I should clean that up too. Alright, once I'm done with this one, I'm just gonna go back into Clip Studio and clean up the lines that have some mild issues. So there's one here, and then it's just the head piece that has the black line sticking out a little bit. Let's just grab this piece in. How are we looking? We don't need these pieces up here. You can come down here and actually be useful. Alright, okay, so just save that. Give it a moment to save, and then go back into Clip Studio. Okay, so the head. Okay, yeah, I can see the head problem. Wait, why is there something on top of it? Oh, the head color is having a problem. So headline. There's not even that big of an issue on this. Why is there the heat shades going on top of this? No, go below this. You want surgical precision. This is where the surgical precision actually comes in. Then we also need to go into not this, not this, this part, not this part, this part, and then into not you, and you. Okay. Then here we want to just cut this down. Let's actually fix this a little bit as well. Oh, there's a break in the color there. I should be able to just slam this in, right? This is just a color in the back. This side doesn't have the same problem. Fantastic. Great. Save that. Go back into Live2D. Throw this in again. We should not be making any new files this time. Yep, it cleaned up the lines. Very good. And then this piece. This is another piece that just kind of has to be able to maintain its shape. And just sit at the back and be a back piece. So let's just make sure. Actually, the side closer to the head doesn't matter. It's the outline on these two sides of this triangle that actually matter. Just make sure that this shape is maintained all the way around. This part can morph a little bit, which is why we'll need at least a mild mesh on the edges. Because it has to curve with the sides. I think I am going to pop out the middle vectors, because honestly these are irrelevant and may cause issues if they stay in. I just need the shape to be maintained, so these are irrelevant. I will just pop that out. Alright, and now once again, we'll go you copy out in or delete, paste, reflect, and check. That looks fine. Honestly, the glow doesn't really matter too much. We'll just mesh this and just let it fly. That copy out into you, or delete, paste, reflect. Looks fine. Then in, or copy out, in, or delete, paste, reflect. That looks fine. Okay. Now then. The side tail. Okay, once we finish the side tail, we're officially done with the head, and that's literally the full time my usual session. Oh boy. Alright, let's have a look at this. Regardless, I'm gonna like keep going just to make sure all of the vector points are all done in one session, so I have plenty of time for my wrist to not be completely dead. And then if I have time, I can before tomorrow's session, can actually try and get the deformers and parameters somewhat set up. There are parts that I want to have essentially documented on film, so I have a record of it somewhere until I finally bother to look at making the tutorials I keep telling myself to make, or some of the deformer hierarchy decisions that I have to go through. You know, this is also like the first time I'll be doing some parts, so honestly, they shouldn't go in a tutorial yet. It should just stay in my head and be on film so I can look over it later. Do I need these inside parts? I really don't. Just get rid of these points. Maybe we'll add in one extra point here and one extra point here to connect these lines. That should do that part. Okay, and then the important part of this one is this outer line. Because the rest of it's actually just going to be kind of squished inside the front piece anyway. This is the bit that needs to stretch to basically facilitate the back part. So I'm gonna need to glue this down mainly on the very end tippy point of the side tail for the back piece. I did have like some problems trying to match it up in the chibi model as well. That's fine. Alright, we've got a shadow here. Just technically need to just go over the body. I'll get to clipping later, but well, now we'll just stick a basic mesh on it. Alright, hands. These fingers do need to be able to turn, but I have disconnected them basically on all of the joints, so it shouldn't be too big of an issue. Actually, let me just make you clip down those parts that you need to clip down on first. So not the hair parts, not the head parts, not the behind head parts. On all the upper body, apart from the arm, let's not have you clip to the arm. Or at least not the hand. Actually, not the lower arm either. Why is this not working? Why is it still absolutely everywhere? This is the heat shadow, right? It's a big grey part here, right? Why do you not work properly? I'm telling you to clip to everything that belongs to the jacket and not to the bit that's floating in the back. Alright, well, we'll mesh up everything else and just worry about it then. Okay. Do I need to glue this together? Ideally, I should glue this together. I need the I need more than that if I want to actually glue it together. I'll see if I can work them without gluing it together, and then if it's really a big problem, then we'll go with the glue, because I'm not particularly good at working glue. There's some applications of it that I do enjoy, but there's a lot of applications of glue which I really do not enjoy. They just don't seem to work properly half the time. I don't think I'm actually cutting my pieces in the appropriate way to glue them down correctly. Or at the very least, I need to make a more defined joint. You know, I'm just gonna like see if all of these pieces will behave if I just do this. Maybe just fix these. The good thing about fingers, as much as I don't particularly enjoy the actual making sure the joints connect to each other as they bend, is that they're bones, which means that they have to be straight. There's a limit to how much each individual joint part can actually bend. Even though you want to have a little deformation as it turns, so in theory, most of this should actually be reasonable. I feel like if I handled it on glue, I should actually be using rotation deformers to do the joints. You know, I have to pass them down to warp deformers before I even start doing the perspective changing. Just to make sure it all behaves correctly. I mean, I already had a giant spot in the was it in-screen rig where I had a problem rotating the formers because they were hidden at the time. As much as nothing's probably going to be hidden in the what do you call it, in the model rig, not like the other one where I had to hide things to make sure I could see what was going to be in the same spot later in the animation. Yeah, this palm's not going to be able to change shape very much in general. It's like the side of the palm slightly turned one way. Do I want the middle parts, or the middle part's going to cause a problem? They may cause a problem. Let's get rid of them. The thumb is the bit that can be the most casually done because it's most of the time out of the way. As long as we have this joint marked in and enough points supporting this part. Oh my god. Click on the point, please. Thank you. Okay. Oh boy. Alright, the important part is the line, so let's make sure the line is fine. Similar to the fingers, we have a giant ass bone that pretty much dictates how much our arms can actually flex. The arm isn't fat enough, essentially, to have any kind of jiggle. So we just want a nice firm mesh that handles the shape here, because it doesn't need to be able to stretch and bounce in any meaningful way. It just needs to be able to maintain the shape and be able to curve the line a little bit as the arm changes perspective, where the muscles very mildly change perspective. I'm not very confident in my muscle groups, honestly, so I'll probably just kind of maintain the same arm shape all the way around anyway, but that's besides the point. We'll go like that. The rest of this up here is the bit that goes underneath the palm. Cut this bit out because that's mostly irrelevant. We just want the shape of the outline to be correct, and that is fine. Oh yeah, didn't end up redrawing so that these bits could stick out at the bottom. Okay, so how's this have to go? This bit does actually have to be able to bend somewhat. Because of the curvature basically right on this spot right here, or like right down here where the breasts are sticking out the most. I'm gonna have to add a whole bunch of extra parts to make sure these lines are maintained all the way around. Make sure the lines are protected. We're gonna put these on the insides. Did you do the outside sit and didn't do the inside sit? Yeah. Oh jeez, don't lag on me, please. Hum. Alright, and then we'll do on the inside of the line so that we can try and hopefully not have the line squeeze itself too much. Still not too sure the best way to deal with that without double meshing on both sides of the line. Really I'd rather not have to do that because that is the quickest way to destroy my wrists. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's make sure there's no connections going all the way through the middle, because those will cause issues. And we should be good to go there, okay. The really sad bit is that there's actually 0 symmetrical pieces left going down, so I can't speed this up anymore. Oh yikes. Oh boy. Let me just overwrite that. I think I already lowered it down at some point to like work or something, but I think I prefer just automatically meshing the line right up to the edge instead. It's usually less problematic and it's easier to fill in. That should be okay. Oh geez, my back. Oh boy. Go like that. And then this piece, only this outline actually matters, the rest of it does not, so we'll just make sure that's intact. The most important part is of course the outline on the outer side, so let's make sure that is okay. There needs to be a little bit of a thicker mesh right up around here, where the perspective might need to change a little bit. Along the round edge here. Let's make sure we have enough points to facilitate that. The rest of it honestly goes underneath other parts, and I do not think I care enough about those parts, so we're just going to go ahead and pop the rest of this out. This is essentially somewhat of a hard shape, so let's make sure there's no points in here to start off with. Just mostly need to maintain the outline shape. Don't think I need to worry too much about the creases on their own. They should just work with the edges as well, so... what extra creases I added to this? Really deciding that the points in the middle actually are gonna affect it any. So if I don't need to mess with them, that speeds up the process a little bit. Then I don't have to go in and actually get rid of them or something. Oh, the line underneath the shirt is a little dodgy there. Good thing that we never see this part of the arm. I'm not gonna bother fixing that because that's redundant. Make sure this side of the arm is maintaining its shape. And then honestly, up to about here is as far as it needs to really go in terms of the shape being correct. And we don't really need the middle part, so let us pop that out. Like so. Is there any weird problems? No. Let's go like that. Regardless of how far I get in probably about the next 20 minutes, I am going to have to finish up just so people can sleep. But go a bit over time today just to keep going with the mission. I'll just have to end up doing the mission off camera. It's fine. Probably just end up hopping in on the community Discord so I don't drive myself insane while doing it. Pop that out there, pop this in, and there we go. Alright, what do we have here? I mean, once the upper body's done, like the lower body is actually out. How many parts are there actually left? I mean, there's still a fair amount, but it's not too many. Once we're through the upper body. Pocket. How much do I care about the shape here? Actually, this mesh looks actually perfect. Alright, let's just go ahead and just auto mesh all of this and just see how it behaves first up. That'll work. This is gonna need... actually, that's not too bad. We are gonna move this across a little bit. I'm gonna move this across a little bit. Center this. Make sure this is tugging on the far side. Belts. Gonna go ahead and get rid of these center points. Don't really need those. And I'm going to just make sure that we're rounding this end a little bit more nicely. This needs a little bit of a thicker mesh if it needs to be able to flop. So let's make sure it has that. What are we looking at here? That is pretty much fine. These are solid shapes, so they actually don't need as complex of a mesh. Like that. Alright, body. Okay, so the inside line does need to be somewhat flexible here. But this bit is going to be able to swing. So we need like somewhat of a thick mesh. It's a very large piece, so the mesh can still be a little larger in terms of gap between each vector point than some of the other... the line here is a bit dodgy. Yeah, I'll go ahead and fix that later. The top part doesn't need to be quite as compact in the mesh because it's about here where the waist belt is that the ability for it to be able to curve is actually going to exist. So we'll focus most of the mesh around... Actually, this outer part might need to be a little bit thicker so I can round it out a bit better as it expands outwards. Let's make sure the mesh here is a little thicker. Okay, let's put an extra point here, put an extra point here. Just make sure we have a line going all the way across. The rest of it can also be like kind of casually done up top because this isn't really the most important part. Right at the top might be a little important for the shape right here, but below about here is where the breast is, so we just need to be able to maintain the shape of the line coming down. This is actually behind the arm already, so honestly this part doesn't really matter all that much. And this part is below the flap, so honestly this part doesn't matter all that much either. Let's make sure. Oh, that's don't have that point there, please. That will cause problems. Alright. Back of belts, that looks fine. Back of this part. Looks fine. The back of this part. Looks fine, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and auto-mesh these and see what pops out. Alright, definitely need to give this a bit of a patch up here. Make sure this is staying somewhat balanced. This bit will need to be able to curve because this is actually on a slant already. Not a very good slant, but it's on a slant. Because this basically needs to be able to go over the breast. Oh boy. Okay, that's turning the wrist a little bit. Let's make sure this can actually slant. I'll thicken the mesh later, but it needs a bit more of a ability to slant. What time is it? Okay, still got a shame before I should really shut up. Does the outside need more of a thick mesh? It'd be okay, realistically speaking. Alright, what's this part? Follow. Go like that. Get that shift around, put this on the outside of the line. Oh. Okay. Oh boy, here's another piece that's gonna hurt my wrist. Okay, let's just see what this does first up. There needs to be like some ability for this to expand as the body turns to the right side, which is left on screen. But shouldn't be too big a problem. Probably should have like detached the shadow and let it float. Just looking at this now, that might actually cause an issue. Because the shadow up here is basically with the implication that it's going to be always turned away from the body, but it's not going to be always turned away from the body. Or it's turned away from the light. The light is coming from the left. Alright, let's hope this part doesn't become a problem. Hum. Okay, stick that there, and then we're gonna start doing the inside side. Let's make sure all of these parts have a point there so that we're controlling the line appropriately without squeezing it too much. Okay, what are we doing here? La dee doo da dee da. That should get the job done there. What we're looking at here, okay, well, the line's over here, very much. Please stay on this side. Okay, and then this, once again, we only care about the bit sticking out here, so let's just make sure that's somewhat workable. Alright. Oh, I'm actually getting to the bottom quarter of the scroll wheel or scroll bar. Once again, we kind of really only worry about the round portion of the breast, because that is where all of the deformation and the shape that we care about is going to be coming from. It's really like a smaller default perspective wise on this side, so I have to really squeeze it down. Then we care a little bit about this side actually because of the way the body's posed. So let's make sure this line is okay as well. And then for the rest of this, we don't care about the bit on the inside, so let's get rid of that. And then the body top, which is literally just this part, as long as it maintains the outline, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Alright, this piece, the most important part actually, this part here, that's going to be underneath the jacket. So let's just make sure that part is okay. The rest of it doesn't really matter all too much, because it's got to be always behind something else. So as long as this part can somewhat be maintained, honestly the rest of this can be whatever. It will be redundant work to just focus on those parts. Then this part's also going to be behind stuff, so we just need to care about like this little part sticking out and maybe a little bit of this being able to stretch. Two shadows. Let's go ahead and tell them to connect to everything below. No, not you. You and you, and that's all that it should be able to hit. Yep. So, oh right, I'd also need to be able to hit the jacket body. Oh, where is it? Where does this have to sit? Alright, I was considering to move that down. How much can I move this down, actually? Let me have a think about this. I can't, I'm gonna have to cut it. Okay, that'll be a fix for next time. I'm not gonna do that now. Alright, let's just see what the auto mesh does to all these pieces. It's actually really surprising how much more time the hit takes, just in general, no matter what happens. The fold is essentially just a shadow, so let's get rid of that point, and that should be good enough. Belt, let's make sure this can wrap nicely at the end, so let's go 1, 2, 3. Add some extra points here to let it have some extra curvature. Pockets, that's fine. Pockets, that's fine. Edge, a little worried about two vectors being that close to getting right here and right here, but otherwise largely fine. We'll pop out the points in the middle because we don't really need them. Alright, and once again, this part is going to need a somewhat thick mesh going up the bottom here. But this is a bit that's going to be able to actually sway. Up to about where the belt is where it should tighten back up around the waist. So about here. Okay, there's a point there that really doesn't need to be there. And another one here. Okay, let's make sure that doesn't do that. Is there more of these points that I just need to be aware of? Yep, right here. I mean, these ones are going to be covered, so it probably doesn't matter quite as much, but... make sure it's not doing that, because that would be a problem. Go ahead and fold these back out. Okay, well, we're doing for this bottom piece right now. Is that gonna be a problem? No, it's not. Okay, very good. Backside of the belt. That's fine. And then the two outer pieces of this. That's fine. And this. That is gonna be fine as well. Okay. Sleeve fold. Where is this? I don't have any extra creases on this one, so honestly, it's not going to be that large of an issue. Oh, okay. Alright, so it is officially time of the day where I really should shut up, even though I would like to keep going. In terms of how far through we actually are, but he's kind of blocking it, but we basically just have let me just, how do I go back to full, just one to one, no, not one to one, full screen. Basically I just need a mesh arm here, which is some finger work here. Skirt doesn't need to be too complex, and then legs doesn't need to be too complex again, because these are, once again, straight objects that have to abide by bones, and then there's going to be a little bit of work on the shoes. Namely the toe here has to be more thickly meshed, but that's basically all that's left to do, and I'm going to have to go and do this off stream now because I need to shut up and let people sleep. Alright, so anyways, thank you very much for watching today's stream. The great setup or the meshes stream that I have to do to start every model or every Live2D project in general. Next time will probably be the former setup, because there is a part where I want to include this time that I haven't done before. So I am going to have a think about how the hierarchy needs to sit to accomplish that. It is because I moved the whole body with physics, and this is a physics affected part, which is going to tilt but not turn. So I'm gonna have a think about that as well. Alright, but anyways, thank you very much for watching today's stream. If you enjoyed what you saw and you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe, leave a like because it helps me out, and I will see you all next time.